Hello, my name is Councillor Harvey. I'm the Cabinet Member for Finance and Corporate Services at Herefordshire Council, and in this final series of video clips for Hereford Voice Councillor Sessions, I'll try and answer some of the outstanding questions that have been put by group members. To begin with, I'll address a couple of questions which are about what councillors are paid. And those are, why don't councillors take a pay reduction instead of stinging constituents who are lucky if they are on 80% of their normal income? And I presume that's during furlough under lockdown. And the other question is, how can the high salaries of some councillors be justified when the money could and should be diverted to much worthier areas? So many members of the public think that councillors are well off because they're councillors. And the reality is that up until very recently, well-off people have been councillors because they were the only ones who could afford to be councillors. And that's something slightly different. So how much are councillors paid and what is that money used for? Councillors are not employees of the council and we don't receive a salary. We receive an allowance which is supposed to help support us to perform our duties as a councillor, and that includes taking unpaid time off from work in order to attend daytime council meetings. Though councillors can also claim cost of travelling to and from those council meetings, and some do that and some don't. And we can also receive a couple of packs of printer paper each year and claim for a couple of printer cartridges for printing off at home if we need to do that. Each Herefordshire councillor currently receives an annual basic allowance of £7,935, and according to a report on national councillor allowances that was made by the Taxpayers Alliance and published in December 2020, so only 3 months ago, Herefordshire provides the fourth lowest annual allowance of any unitary authority in the country and the lowest of any unitary authority in the West Midlands region. In 2019-20, the last full year for which figures are available, the total amount that was provided in allowances and expenses for all councillors on Herefordshire Council was £629,000, and that represents 0.16% of the total operating cost of the council, which is £381 million. Allowances for councillors are set each year at the annual council meeting, which is held in May, and the full details of what each councillor has claimed in allowances and expenses is published on the councillor pages of the council's website for everyone to see. Enabling normal working age and working class people to afford to be your elected representatives is really important if the council as a whole is to be representative of the communities that we serve. As well as paying for councillors to attend council meetings where important decisions get made, the allowances mean that your councillors are able to be there for you all year round to help with local issues when you need them. Councillors have not been furloughed during COVID, and all the normal business of the council has continued throughout the year, including all the council meetings. So there isn't really any relation between councillor allowances and whether or not people are still working. We've been working throughout. Most ward councillors spend on average 2 to 2.5 working days worth of time each week on council business, one way or another. And those who are chairs of committees or are cabinet members like me find that to fulfil the role properly takes as much or more than the amount of time that would be necessary to do a full-time job. And that's why cabinet and committee chair roles get an additional responsibility allowance because of the extra time that's involved in these roles. So for a councillor on a basic allowance, that works out at an hourly rate of around £7.90, which is getting on for £1 an hour less than the national living wage as currently set for someone over the age of 25. If we took councillor allowances away or reduced them, then only retired or independently wealthy people would be able to afford to represent their communities as councillors, which would take us back to the bad old days. And we don't think that that's what most people want for Herefordshire. As a coalition, we're trying really hard to encourage people of working age to become councillors so that the makeup of the council is more representative of the ages, backgrounds and experience of the county as a whole, because we think that that will make for better decision making and better representation for you as residents. I'll do another couple of videos dealing with the remaining questions now.